Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Another interview with King Solomon Entertainment here on our Hollywood Now platform. Thank you guys so much for all the support, all the love, all the comments. We thank you guys so much. And if you want to be on the show or send requests to the show, go to our official website, KingSolomonEntertainment.tv. If you have not subscribed already, please do so at this time. Make sure you share the link. Make sure you just continue to share, subscribe. All the links are in the comments right now as we speak. We're going to get right into the interview without further delay. Another great Hollywood influencer, a Hollywood star on our Hollywood platform, Hollywood Now platform today. We're so excited to have actor Kenajuan Bentley on the show today. Thank you guys so much.
Hey,
thank you so much.
Yeah, Kenajuan. It takes a minute.
It's gonna roll off the tongue, and just gotta say it about 1 billion times.
Yeah,
Kenajuan or Kenajuan, it's gonna come off. So
I've heard it all. So I've heard Kenajuan.
I'm not gonna butcher it that bad. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Hollywood Now. Please let the audience know who you are, what you do, how you got started.
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm glad we can link it up. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. I just moved into my new apartment, so this is my very first kind of virtual in my new space, which I'm digging.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So it's a pleasure. I'm really happy to be here. Mm-hmm. Let me see a little bit about me. I was in New York for 10 years and did a lot of theater. I did a lot of Shakespeare, a lot of classical theater, regionally. And then I booked a job at Oregon Shakespeare Festival, which if you haven't heard of it, it's one of the greatest producing theaters in the country. They do a lot of classical work, but they also do a lot of new work too. A lot of new plays come out of there, new musicals. But it's in Oregon. It's in the middle of nowhere in Oregon. So I booked a job there, and I was there for 5 seasons. I was only supposed to be there for 1 season, but they kept doing these amazing plays, these world premieres. So I stayed there 5 seasons, and around the 5th season, I decided I wanted to move to LA because LA, is very close to Oregon. I was like, let me see what the West Coast has going on. And I did want to do more film and TV stuff because I was at that point, it was all theater. I think I had 1 Law and Order back in New York episode. So I moved to LA, and I've been here now for 7 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, I guess it's home. I guess.
Yes. No, absolutely.
Yeah. So just kind of building my TV credits from that. I was really, really fortunate to get All the Queen's Men. How that came about was interesting. You want me to tell you that story?
Please. Before you do that, what was some of you mentioned the training school in the theater. Did you study performing arts in high school? Did you go to actual training school? How did that come about?
Yeah, so I did a lot of plays in high school. At that point, it was just fun. I was like, I don't know if this is exactly what I want to do. Although one of my inspirations was my uncle, who was an actor. And when I was 10 years old, his name is Ernie Hudson. He was in Ghostbusters. He's the black Ghostbuster in Ghostbusters. So when that movie came out, he came to our hometown, which I grew up in Michigan, which is where he's from too. And he took me and my little cousins to see Ghostbusters. And he gave us all 8x10 headshot. It was a black and white headshot, his face and his name on it. He signed it. And I took it to school. I was like, my uncle was in Ghostbusters. They was like, yeah, right. So that's when I decided that I was like, oh, you can do this for a living. You can do this as a career. Let me see what I can do. So all through high school, I did plays. And then when I got to college, I was originally supposed to study communications. But then I tried out for a play. They were doing A Raisin in the Sun, the one black play in the whole university. So I tried out for that, got in it, and the rest is history. From then on, I changed my major to dramatic arts.
Absolutely. If there's any play that would change your life and that would definitely grab you in, it's The Raisin in the Sun.
It's A Raisin in the Sun. Yeah. So I did my 4 years at Western Michigan University, and then I got a full ride scholarship to study at UConn for my master's. And I was not trying to continue education whatsoever, but I was like, you know what? Connecticut is close to New York. My naive self was like, ooh, it's probably just like New York. It's nothing like New York. It's like polar opposite of New York. But it's a short train ride to New York, right? Yeah. So I did go to Connecticut. I got my master's and I did a 3-year program, more theater. I got my master's in dramatic arts there, and then I moved to New York right after school.
Wow, amazing. So you kind of been studying all your life, and then you get right into it, New York. Now,
Yeah.
please, New York is also, some people say, different but similar, the polar opposite of LA.
Oh
So
yeah.
please explain what it was like on the hustle and bustle of New York as far as, artwork and entertainment.
Yeah. What I liked about New York, first of all, let me say this too, that I moved to New York August 11th, 2001 is when I moved to New York, which is a month before September 11th. Right.
Wow.
So I had
Wow.
never been to the Trade Center. I had never seen, we're coming up on it right now. We're coming up on the anniversary. I just saw the skyline coming into the city.
Wow.
So when that happened, I was like staying with friends on their couches, looking for an agent, trying to get some kind of like part-time job. And then the 9/11 happened, and everything. What I remember most about that is that New York is very much like get out of my way, beep, 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 get out, move, hustle, hustle, hustle. But when 9/11 happened, it was like, hey, brother, let me get the door for you. We're all one. It became very much like, let's light a candle, candlelight vigil. It became very much like community, right? Real fast, because we all had to bond together. So what I remember most of is there was a lot of hustle and bustle there, but there was a lot of kindness and a lot of like, love that was happening within that city. So I'm very grateful that I did land there at that time. But my mother was like, "Are you sure, New York? Like, look what's going on." Right? So it was a learning lesson for that. But I will say the difference for me with New York and LA is New York feels more community. It feels more. I had a friend who was like, "Ooh, there's this new playwright who has this play. I'm busy, but you should go out for this role." You know what I mean? Whereas in LA, it doesn't feel that much like that. Yes,
Wow.
maybe I'm not in the right circles. But and I always say, people say, what's the difference between New York and LA? And I say, New York is sexy, LA is pretty, right? So it's just a matter of preference. If you like sexy, New York is for you. If you like pretty, LA is for you. So that's kind of my like, quick, Cliff's Notes version.
Yeah. Yeah, but a lot of people can appreciate urban, in your face, real, even if it's get out the way toots. It felt so real and felt so raw. Well, she wanted me to get out her way. I think she really wanted me to move out the way. So you was ready to
exactly. Yeah. And I appreciate that. I appreciate
somebody
someone, to know exactly how someone feels about me right up front, as opposed to like, you're so great. Yeah. And then behind my back,
they wiping their hands like, oh my God, that's not what you are. That's LA. But New York, you felt that I think she really wanted me to get out the way. So I did. Yeah.
There's no question about it. No question about it.
So explain the culture shock, if it was that, coming to LA and have to now learn LA.
Yeah. So, I'm from the Midwest, so I'm a nice guy. Just I'm a nice dude.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that I notice is in New York, people look at you. They look at you, and it's valued if you are different. It's valued if you are unique. That stuff is valued. And I feel like LA, sometimes I walk down the street and people will look right through me. And they go, even if I'm trying to like, because I'm not one to be like, hi, everybody, hi, but I at least like, especially when it's my own, when it's a person of color, I like to look and be like, hey, how you doing? Or a head nod, some kind of acknowledgement is something that I've always like loved. But in LA, they will look right through you, or they'll be like, you'll be coming this way and they'll be looking right here. And you like, if you just turn your eye this way, let me give you an eye, we'll smile at each other and be on our way. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things that I was like, oh, okay, all right, it's like that. And I find myself now, being here 7 years, that I'm starting to pick up on that, and I'm starting to like do that too. And I'm like, no, that's not who you do. Not fall into that trap.
Well, you definitely become a Los Angelina once you be there for a while. But you understand, you get it, you get it to the point to where you understand. And so therefore, when you do meet your circle, your support system, it's organic. And it's going to feel really real when it happens. And therefore, you're going to feel yourself being a local, just like everybody else doing the same thing. But you're going to understand why is that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
I
gonna
can
find your niche.
appreciate it now. It's one of those things
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, it's not me. It's just that, it's just the way
yeah.
it is. And
Just
that's
wait.
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it will happen for you, and it will become and feel like home. The longer you be here, it'll feel
Yeah.
more and more like home because you'll have that circle that's really your support system. So that's
Yep.
amazing. And so, please, can you tell us a story now how you got into all the policeman role?
All
That's
right.
amazing.
So we were in pandemic and I had auditioned. It was a self-tape, which self-tape, which means you tape it from home. You have a friend read the other lines. You tape it from home. I did it, sent it away, didn't even think about it. Cut to, and then I didn't hear anything for like 2 weeks. I was like, oh, they moved on. Next. So cut to 2 months later. We get a frantic email from Tyler Perry Studios saying, hey, we liked Kenajuan's audition, but he was second choice. There was a guy that we put, because he was a little older, we wanted him, that presence. But Kenajuan was second choice. Here's the story. The guy came in, he did the first 2 scenes, and then he passed away.
What a story.
So they said, is Kenajuan available? And so my agent called me and was like, here's the deal. They want you. And I was like, when? They were like, oh, Friday. This was Monday. They were like, Friday. They want you in Atlanta Friday. So I was like, yep, we're going to make it work. So I like, scramble stuff around, try to figure out where my car was going to be because there's alternate street side parking where I live, all these logistics. I have a regular job that I actually love and like too. So I had to, kind of do all this stuff. And then I got there and we started refilming the scenes that the guy who deceased did. And then Tyler Perry in the moment was like, nope, we're changing it. We're changing it. Your character is now Bill, right? Because that wasn't my original name. And he was like, this is what it is. And then we did it right on the fly. Now, what I loved is that I was so kind of freaked out and exhausted from travel that it was just like, I was like, okay, I'm here, whatever. And I just, and I'm good at improv too. So we improv some stuff and we pieced that together. Now, I always knew Bill had a short shelf life. He was only supposed to go 2 seasons, right? Because he was supposed to be dastardly. He was a guy who wasn't, he was a bad guy. So I knew there was a time frame on it. And so what I just remember filming it being like, I'm doing this for the guy who was deceased because I'm grateful that I'm here, but the way that I got here feels weird. But I'm gonna assume he's an angel looking over this, and I got his blessing to be here. But it was a strange. I had never had a situation like that before, and I just was like, just open, like bring it, whatever it is, it's gonna be, and the rest is the show's small history. So.
No, it's amazing backstory, and it's one of that we all have. We have our stories, and
Yeah.
it's an amazing story. And I'm telling you, just the way you explained it, it's beautiful because what a way to approach any and every role, in that manner of being in a moment and finding your place and your niche in that moment and making it work. And the backstory of your craft and how you are well trained and you got your master's from UConn. It's just all come together because you did a phenomenal job in that role. And it's almost like if you know something's going to be limited or short term, you want to make a lasting impression.
I mean, I'm still holding out hope. I'm like, please, like, can I come back as his twin brother?
Come back. No.
Please. I was like, I want to be his twin brother, Will.
I know.
I already wrote it in my head.
I know.
He's coming back.
You explain that. Like, how was it working with Tyler Perry? I know Christian Keys created the show. Yeah. And then Tyler Perry comes on as executive producer. Like, what was that like? First of all, that amazing, beautiful studio. And then working with Tyler Perry.
It was first of all, driving up to the studio, you're like, whoa. It was like black excellence. It's like black excellence everywhere, right? So working with him, I would do it in a heartbeat because he works fast. He works fast. And so he needs actors around him who can work fast too. And like, I was like, this is it. Like, it was like, let me in, coach. Let me in. Like, it was It was so good. It was so good. And one of the things I'll never forget is I made him laugh a couple times, which was nice when I was improv. And also at the end of it all, he was like, I got to find something else for you. And I was like, please don't,
And if anybody could find something else for you, it's Tyler Perry, because he got a billion shows on.
Dude, so I was like, please let this be something that you don't forget, that don't get swept under the rug.
No, he could not. He could not.
I loved it. After the first day of filming, I went up to him and I was like, because I'm very much not like, I like to play it cool. I don't want to be like, I'm the biggest, you know what I mean? I like to play it cool and be like, yeah, I did my work, I did my job, I'll be in my trailer. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Right.
So I went up to him afterwards, like, dude, thank you so much. I had such a good day. I was like, this is a dream of mine that's coming to fruition. So it's very, I'm very like, I'm trying not to be a big geek, but I'm letting you know that, dude, this is where I belong.
He is definitely life-changing, game-changing. He's doing amazing work. What he has accomplished, what he's done, the lives he's changing. And I'm telling you, what you did in that short amount of time in that role was so amazing. That's how I had to reach out to you, because first of all, I love the show. Amazing show. What Eva has done with the role, the madam, I mean, she is doing a phenomenal job.
Yes.
I already knew Sky Black. He'd been on the show before. It's interesting because before he got the shows that he's on, he came on my platform. I met him out here. So it's amazing to see that what has happened to his life in a short amount of time, and the shows he's on. And so to see this show, and then of course knowing Christian Keys, like he finally got a hit. He finally got, one of his shows. So it's all just come 360, and I'm trying to have as many people on from the show, if not a full panel, once I get everybody on, to talk about the wonderful, wonderful, great things about this show, because it's so amazing. And to see what you've done, and it's like, I was so like, wow. When they killed off your character, I was like, oh no, a wonderful bill. You know what I'm saying? But I knew Madam was gonna get pissed. I just didn't know what she had in store for y'all. But it was like, that's for Madam and her money. But
I wanted more scenes with her and more scenes with the lady who played Blue. Like, first of all, everybody on there is super cool. Everybody's super
amazing. Cool. And Blue character is amazing.
I know. And there's that one little scene I had that day we had of shooting my departure scene. Let's call it departure scene. I got to meet finally get to meet Eva, because all of my scenes were with Sky or with Red in the halfway house. So it was a nice meeting with them, and I was like, damn, it's just too short. It's too short. I want more. I really want more. So let's hope.
No, amazing. You did a great job, and it was definitely a lasting impression, and you did that, and all your expertise and professionals came full circle, and that's what you study hard for. That's what you perfect your craft for, and it definitely came across. You did a great job, and I'm sure Tyler Perry got so much stuff he's doing. I'm sure he'll find something in all the amazing things he's doing at BET and on all the other platforms he's on. He's doing stuff on. So I'm sure he puts a lot of original stuff he's doing, and he's not always using actors that's been around for a long time. He kind of switched it up. Now he's using one show. He did all new actors, so he's doing a lot of great things. He's really switching it up, so it's amazing.
Masterful. He's masterful.
So what's next for Kenajuan Bentley?
So just back to auditioning. I did a show for Apple Plus. I'm a recurring on that. It's called Shrinking, and it starts probably in the fall, because I did my last episode about a month ago. It'll be on Apple Plus. It stars Harrison Ford and Jason Segel.
Wow.
So I'm excited about that. And now I'm just like, we'll see. Like, I'm in my new place, so I'm in a new apartment. So I'm setting all that up, setting out where I can put my self-tape station, right? And we'll see what happens. We'll keep on doing it. We're gonna keep on doing it till something jumps.
No, absolutely. Are you still doing the 9 to 5, or you just full-time?
Yes. So I'm also really passionate about my 9 to 5 too. It's a mental health treatment. It's a treatment center. So I work with a lot of clients who have bipolar disorder, OCD, schizoaffective. It's intense, but I feel like it's all human behavior. And I feel like I'm supposed to do, even when I was in New York, I've never been a waiter cater kind of actor. or an Uber driver kind of actor. I feel like social services is something that I'm really passionate about. And I think when it all is said and done, I want to do arts therapy, where we can sort of do therapeutic arts through music, through drama therapy, through all these things, so I can put both of those worlds together. Because I've been doing it like this. I work with foster kids in the Bronx, Alzheimer's, dementia, you know what I mean? All those things. And it's what I've kind of done as my side gig, because I always need a paycheck coming in, because we know the acting, unless you're a series regular on the show, you need some kind of like consistent income. So
absolutely,
that's always been my rent paying job. And then
absolutely. So stability is first and foremost and primary. Everything else is going to come. You got to have stability, because you're not here. How you going to get audition, anything? So it's like you have to establish your stability first in anything that you do as far as entertainment. But it's amazing, and everything you're doing, you I believe you're preparing for this wonderful, great role. You already have the research.
It all feeds each other. It all feeds each other really beautifully. Yeah,
you have the research already there for this great role you're going to be doing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, I'm excited. I love the character. I love what you have done so far. I definitely come across. Just wanted to know who you were thus far, what you've done, and all the wonderful things that you're working on. And are you still into training, like in between gigs? Do you still do training? Do you still do online, or what do you do?
100 all the time. I just actually signed up for Groundlings, which is an improv group. And I've also taken like commercial classes, acting for the camera, because, you know, stage is my where I'm comfortable. The camera is kind of still relatively new within the last 7 years. So I'm always trying to improve on that. Because I feel more comfortable in a room full of 500 strangers on a bare stage than a room full of 10 people with cameras. There's something about cameras that it sees right through you, right? You can't hide. You can't hide. You can't fake it. It's right there. So it's one of those things that I have to constantly always remind myself that just be yourself. Just be, whereas at theater, you're always this is me, with your voice projecting, and you make yourself bigger. Camera, you make yourself smaller in a way.
Yes.
You do simpler. So that was, my first couple of auditions in LA, casting directors would be simpler. And I'd be how much more simpler you want me to get? I feel I'm so it's all something that I'm always constantly trying to at least get to a comfort level.
No, and doing production and working with talent, it's always a beautiful thing to see an actor who has done theater or started off with theater, TV, film, and then come back to theater. It's always a beautiful thing to see that, because it's they learn something from film and from TV, this contrast, and they bring it back to theater when they understand, and it's just amazing. So it's going to be great to see when you get back into theater, once you've done TV and film, what you bring back to the stage, what you love and where you started from.
Ideally, if I could do one play a year, I would be so happy about that. It's very time consuming, right? It's like a 8 week, sometimes 6 week kind of thing, whereas TV happens really fast.
No, it's a lot of work and so great pay, and but it's the best feeling in the world.
Oh man, that live audience, and at the end, it's just you feel like you've accomplished something. You told a story, and they get it, and everybody's on the ride at the same time. So that's kind of cool.
Well, I know a couple playwrights. I'm sure they're going to use a great talent like you. I'll keep your name in the rotation.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Please let them know how they can connect with you, how they can support you, where they can reach you at, your social media. Let them know.
Yeah. So Kenajuan, everything is Kenajuan, because I'm the only one in the whole world. There might be there was one dude that he spelled a capital J, and I think he's somewhere in Africa somewhere. But Kenajuan, Kenajuan, all lowercase, at Instagram, at TikTok, at Facebook. It's all there. It's all Kenajuan. It's very simple.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much. Hopefully you'll be back on, and if I get the full panel or more, a panel of cast members, I would love for you to come back on for that as well.
Oh, dude, anytime. This was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Pleasure all mine, and I'm sure I'll see you again. And good luck with conquering LA and Hollywood and all the wonderful things in entertainment. I'm sure we'll see you on another Tyler Perry stage.
To God's ears. Absolutely. Bring it.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great holiday weekend. Thank you so much for doing the platform.
Thank you, sir.
Kenajuan Bentley, y'all. Thank you so much.
Peace.
All right. There you go. Another great episode of Hollywood Now. Make sure you guys share this link and make sure you guys support. That's the Cash App. If you want to support us directly, make sure you guys subscribe. That is the YouTube link right there. Thank you guys so much for all the support, all the wonderful things that you have done, and how to reach out to us. Please send us an email at KingSimonEntertainment.tv, official email request. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, thank you guys.